Alright, we're going to Eve. And back. I do have to get to the right window, so let's open up our map. Right now I'm just waiting for Eve to catch up to me. I usually eyeball this. If I get a direct line from Kerbin to the edge of Eve's circle there, and Eve is right at the edge of the circle with that line, then that's pretty much the best window to launch at. I want to say it's probably about 50 degrees if you choose the sun as the center of the circle. Eve is slightly on an incline. Its orbital plane slightly on an incline, but it's a big enough planet that even if you're off a little bit, it should still suck you in. Kind of eyeballing it. Draw that imaginary line. That should do. Might be slightly early, but it's close enough, I think. Let's go a little further. Try that. Yeah, that's about perfect. Go manual into orbit 2. All right, we are launching. So far, so good. The spaceship was over-engineered. I definitely put plenty of boosters on it to get to go where it needs to go. So hopefully fuel won't be an issue coming back from Eve, because it is a pain to get down and a pain to get back up. It's going to be a long video, kiddies. Happy New Year, by the way. Okay, separate. There's a little bit of a lag here. I added a few extra boosters to it. Usually I restart the game after that because it slows it down sometimes. I didn't restart the game, so it's not too bad. Once I get to a point where I don't have a lot of parts on my ship, it'll start to run smoother. Alright, pitching over. Doing a manual flight into orbit. Most of the stuff I do as far as orbital is manual. I don't use the maneuver nodes to get up there. Design is based roughly off of Matt Lowen's video he released a couple years back. Although I've made some improvements to it. So I have a little bit more fuel left when I send from Eve. Over to get my flight path indicator at the 45-degree mark. Hello, one viewer. I don't know who you are, but welcome. Here I have a center core that's not even lit up yet. And there it is, way up in there. That's 5 engines. I believe those are mainsails if I remember correctly. Pretty sure they are. And that's going to be my main transfer vehicle. Although I might still have a little bit of fuel left in these boosters once I get into orbit to burn up up a little bit of excess fuel from them to get where I'm going, which will save me fuel for deceleration at Eve and some for the return trip back to Kerbin. Let's check and see how high my collapse is. Thrust right there because I've got plenty to get up there. Should have aimed down a little bit more. Wasn't the most efficient rise, but it's going to be better than some of the other ones I've done. Let's get rid of this fairing so we can see the guts of what I built inside. One of the deviations from Matt Lowe's version of it. It's pretty close. Still got that main center and the 6 tanks on around the centerpiece, but I did add these 4 solid boosters here, and these 2 engines are detachable. That's just for my deceleration burn to go ahead and get into a kind of an aero braking descent on Eve. I don't use much fuel out of them. I just pop them off once they're used up, and it doesn't even use half the tank. I also only have 1 heat shield on top and 1 heat shield on the bottom. Matt's had 4 on top and 4 on the bottom. I figured out a way to get this mounted on the top of my capsule, even though there's a nose cone on it. Which is not easy. You gotta play with it a little bit to get those girders to work, but it worked all right. One thing I neglected to add to this was a good reaction wheel, so it takes it forever to rotate, so I would just give it a little bit of thrust to help it turn faster. This thing is still pretty heavy, so fuel. All right, how much do we have left? 305 milliseconds of fuel left in these guys. I don't know how much delta V that is because that's a lot of engines. It'll probably give me a good boost for my initial transfer insertion. So let's find out what that transfer is going to be. So again, I'm eyeballing this. I will put a maneuver node in here though, because not leaving it up to fate. Let's see, Eve is in, so I gotta flip it upside down. 45 degrees off the plane. Add maneuver. Extra. That should be an encounter right there. Let's adjust it a bit. Oh. I think that's good enough. "59 seconds, that's not even a minute long. And it looks like almost a third of it's going to be using what I still have left of my ascent boosters. Cool deal. Now I just have to sit here for a really long time, so the ship slowly points toward the maneuver node. I think I might do an edit on this thing and throw a damn big reaction wheel somewhere underneath the return pod, because this is very boring. It's going to take like 3 or 4 minutes for it to make the rotation. I also could have put some RCS thrusters on it too. I'm not sure which one would be less weight. I think just using one big reaction wheel would be better than having to put a whole bunch of fuel tanks for monopropellant on there. Could put a bunch of small ones in the tops of all the boosters. About halfway in the turn. Let's see how much electricity I got. How good at that? Okay. Almost there. I'm recharging faster than I'm using it up, so that's good. seeing that the burn time says it's just 1 second under a minute's worth of duration. I'm going to start burning at 30 seconds. I'll just split it. Technically it would be 29.5 seconds, but close enough at 30. Actually, I think I'll start burning at 31 to allow time for the separation. Okay, getting close to burn time. All right, 42 seconds. I'm gonna start burning at 31. 38, 37, 36, 34, 33, 32, 31 burning. Separating. A little bit of a lag. There we go. Burning. By those monsters. Halfway through our burn. see where that brought us. I think you're going to want to do a little bit of a burn up. I believe this should be a... I'm not setting up a maneuver node for it. I believe it should be a normal burn. Oh, my cat is about to fall off the couch. Move you over here, buddy. You're gonna fall. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll do that correction later. Just get out of orbit. Damn cat. Cat, come on. Jesus Christ. Doesn't look too bad right there. What's my altitude? 348. $154. I can live with that. Ah. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Now I gotta build that thing again. 69.4 milliseconds of delta V. What do I have left in this rocket? I'll still leave about 1,000. That's almost enough to do the complete deceleration burn to orbital insertion, which is really what this little 3-rocketed stage is designed for. So if this bottom one almost gets me there, I'm going to have a lot of fuel left over in this thing, which is just fine. The only drawback is I didn't put any RCS thrusters on here. I might not be able to dock it very well. I might have to have Jebediah do an EVA from his capsule to the command module. Oh well. It'll still be legit. I'll get him home. If you hear me talking about my cat, I love my cat, but he's got a drooling problem, and he starts shaking and spinning his head, trying to shake off some itches or something, and his drool just sprays all over the place like a dog. It's gross. Because it's such a short amount of time to burn, and I'm not going to be using full thrust because it'll be almost impossible to control if I did it at full thrust. I'm just going to get it down to about 10 seconds, give or take. Whether it's plus or minus, it doesn't really matter. That distance, it's not going to change too much. So I'll start burning around 10 or 15 seconds. What's up, demon or demonic?
Oh, hello.
Oh my god.
Well, I got a Kerbal.
You got a Kerbal?
Yeah, I got a Kerbal.
Cool.
I'm sorry about any background. I'm sorry about any background. Sorry about any background noise.
Yeah, it's fine. I heard someone attacking you. That's fine. Yeah, I'm doing a live stream from Kerbin to Eve and back right now on there.
And sorry, you heard like a dolphin thing going on.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that was me.
I figured that.
Oh.
Alright. I am coming up on 5 minutes. 4 minutes. Getting into the 3 minutes here. I'm going to start burning at about 10 seconds. Alright. 2 minutes. Okay, down to the 1 minute mark. 30, 20 seconds cutting the time acceleration, and I am starting my insertion burn.
Hello? Hi, this is Karen, Charlie's mom.
Wait.
You were just playing with my son Charlie.
Wait, what school he goes to?
I think you were just playing with him on Fortnite. I was wondering if you could explain yourself.
What?
Because he said he was called a Morph. He was just in this two-player mode.
Almost up there.
What school does he goes to?
He's homeschooled.
I didn't say that to him.
He said you did, and he's crying right now in his room.
I didn't say that.
Is your mother around? I would like to speak with her about this.
No, I don't want you to tell my mom about
I want to harass my child alone without her knowing.
Okay.
Apologize to Charlie.
Can you do me a favor? Actually, please add me.
I might have overburned a bit.
I always have trouble with launching because like it's either like the wood like it just keeps like if I have a rocket with an extra attachment on it and it's not balanced out, it'll just end up flipping over.
Yeah, and you just got to balance the weight out. That's why if you put an attachment on any side of your rocket, you want to put either the same attachment on the opposite side or something of equal weight. Remember, the taller your rocket is, the harder it is to keep it straight. It'll want to flip over a lot. You also want most of your weight to be on the lower stages.
Oh yeah, because the engines do a lot of weight to it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why I'm having that problem is I think I'm like using their rockets and like their rockets aren't that good. I'm using the Kerbal rockets.
Veneer, you mean? The Veneer rockets?
Yeah, the ones that are already built.
The ones that go on the side?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
The
those are designed for maneuvering. I don't think they're designed for flight. If you ever want to do any maneuvering, just get the standard RCS thrusters and put some monopropellant on your spacecraft, and it should just take care of that problem. They don't have any drag, really.
So what are you gonna do for New Year's?
What am I doing for New Year's?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here at my house with my cat, doing a live stream right now of me going to Eve. If you want to check it out, just go on your PlayStation or whatever it is you're playing, and there's a live stream right now of me playing. As a matter of fact, everything I say is coming out live right now on YouTube. I'll be right back. I gotta grab myself something to eat. It's gonna take me about a minute. Be right back.
Avocados from Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. Avocados. Avocados from Mexico. Avocados from Mexico. Ah! Oh my god, that's my character.
Yeah, another thing about those veneers, if you use them, I believe they take fuel from the standard tanks. And I don't think they're designed really for thrusting you any place. They're just designed for maneuverability. I think they're more powerful maneuvering thrusters, but they're still not really something you want to use to propel yourself. They're really just used for maneuverability. And they also drain from your oxygen and fuel tanks. So if you use just the standard RCS things, they got them in there. Those just use monopropellant and that stuff.
Another question. Why is it always so hard? So, like, when you're using the jets, you try taking off. Why is it like, it's always you can't ever take off?
When you design, are you using a standard or a stock jet, or are you building your own?
Oh, the stock.
All right. Well, obviously you fire them off in the staging mode to get them turned on. You give them full thrust. If you go into your settings, there's a option in there to swap the roll and yaw. You don't have to do it, but it makes it a little bit easier to fly it. You can swap that, and you have to wait for it to get up to, depending on what plane you're flying. The heavier they are, the faster you got to be going before you get to enough speed to actually take off. But usually around 60 knots or 60 kilometers per second, or 60 meters per second, I think it is, whatever it is on there. I can't remember what the measuring formula is, but once you get up to about that speed, you just start pulling back on the stick and it should lift right off. Now, if you're building your own, you got to make sure you put the weight and the aerodynamic lift have to be slightly off. Like the center of gravity, you want the lift to be a little bit behind it. And the center of thrust doesn't really make much of a difference. The further away it is from the center of mass, you have a little bit more controllability. But at that point, if you go too far from it, it gets so over controlled that it's hard to control, because the slightest movement you make, it's going to want to wiggle out of control. So you don't want to be too far back. And that's
You ever thought about making a UFO for a rocket ship?
I made a USS Enterprise once, but it wouldn't get off the ground. But it looked just like it. I put a bunch of boosters on it to get it into orbit, but it was just so heavy it wiggled out of control because I made it so big. But just a plain old UFO, no, I have not. I made this rocket. I'm not sure if you're watching online. Like I said, if you go on there, because I don't see anyone watching right now, it says 0 people watching. But if you go into the game and go to what's trending, my video will be there. I made my rocket so big, and I put a maneuver node in there, and I'm trying to do everything, but it's so heavy that it's turning real slow. I forgot to put a reaction wheel in there, so it takes forever for it to do anything. This video is going to be like hours long. Okay, got it. Now I can thrust a little bit. This should correct. Oh, okay. That pretty much did what I needed to do. Oh, my altitude's way too low. I'm going to have to boost that out of there.
No.
All right.
Hey, I'm actually taking off. I'm actually taking off of one of these rockets that's even down.
Remember, just do it little minor controls. Don't yank the stick too hard, otherwise you'll go flipping out of control.
Why didn't it make it that far?
Did you get off the ground?
Yeah, I got it off the ground though.
That's good.
It went off the ground onto the water.
Remember, pull back on the stick. It should nose up, and if it noses up, that means it's going to try to fly up, as long as you're going fast enough.
Okay.
If you try to pull back on the stick when it's not fast enough, you're gonna what they call a stall. It's not like a car stalling. It's called an aerodynamic stall, which means that you're not going fast enough to create enough lift to go up, but you're trying to force it to go up, and all you're going to do is slow yourself down, and you're going to drop out of the sky. Or if you're already on the ground, it's going to not let you get off the ground. You want to get some speed up before you pull back on the stick.
Even though I'm not a streamer, but I have a good thing that that probably could help out a streamer. I know something that could help out a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
If you do like giveaways and all that.
Yeah, I'm not home and long enough to do all this stuff. I'm usually working a lot, so
Yeah,
I
but
try to get involved with some stuff, but yeah, keep in mind there's a lot of people who play this, and like yourself. You're a kid, right? You're what, about 13, 14 years old?
close.
All right. Well, we'll just guess. I'll say you're 13 or 14. And my guess is you probably don't have a job. So there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to do giveaways or maybe get people to get on your streaming site and make a little bit of money off of it, someone's going to be able to pay. So either your parents are going to pay for you or you need to get a job. So yeah, I'm a grown man, so I like money. So I need to. If I'm going to do something like that, I'm going to try to get some money out of it.
To be honest, I could probably get a job in like a few years.
Well, that's good. Let's see if I do the radio out.
But it's gonna take longer than a few years. Cause you're gonna.
Well, if you're around 14, I'm guessing maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, but I'm guessing you're around 14. A few years, you'll be about 17. So now, if you're 13, it'll be 5 years before you get 18, and
I'm just really hoping this pandemic can end soon. So
I don't know. Were you the one who said you lived in Pennsylvania? I can't remember. Someone told me they lived in Pennsylvania. I can't remember if it was you or not. But depending on where you live, if you live in New York, Pennsylvania, or any of the northeastern states, or in California, or I'm not asking you to tell me where you live because you don't need to. I'm sure you're not allowed to do that. That's fine. But I'm just saying, depending on where you live, it could make it hard for you to get a job. And I live in North Carolina. I can go into a store and not wear a mask if I didn't really want to. No one says anything to me. I think this mask wearing thing has gotten out of control. But doesn't mean it's not a serious virus. You should protect yourself. But most young people are not going to catch it. And even if they do, it's just like a bad cold. It's really the older people that are dying from it, or someone who has maybe, I don't know, something wrong with them, like a bad asthma or some kind of disease that might make them kind of weak in the first place, and then when they catch the corona, it could kill them. But normal people shouldn't have any problem with it, so I don't stress it. I'm a truck driver. I go everywhere, so I see it's a lot different down here in North Carolina. We have a mask mandate, but I ignore it most of the time. No one ever says anything to me. But if you go up into New York and you don't wear a mask, you're going to have everyone and their brother yelling at you, and it depends on where you live. Some places it's bad, and some places it's not too bad. But anyhow, to get to what I said earlier, with the pandemic going on, depending on where you live, it might be harder to find a job because you might, a lot of places will hire bartenders or waitresses or people who work at convenience stores or stuff like that. If you're living in New York, a lot of that stuff shut down. You're not going to be able to find a job. So, unless you know someone, I guess. By the way, I'm from New York originally, so I know what it's like up there. All right, where are we going? Come on, rocket ship, turn a little bit faster to that. You're going too slow, rocket ship. This thing is turning way too slow. I really need to put a reaction wheel on this thing in the future.
I'm about to start doing that weird jelly thing.
What's that?
The weird jelly thing.
Yeah,
where
what
you
is the weird jelly thing?
Where you start spinning like too fast or something.
Oh, yeah. Are you flying a plane again?
No, I'm already in space.
Oh, okay.
But I think. Wait, is it possible to create a black hole?
In the game,
Yeah.
maybe you could build something that looks like a black hole, I guess, but you can't
Ah,
create one.
the stars are multiplying. Ah, I'm spinning too fast where my part just blew up. All I have is a parachute left.
Are you re-entering?
No, I'm just like zooming away from like 1 million Earths right now.
Oh, okay.
It's been out of control.
All right, I think I'm in the right thing here. Oh, that's the wrong direction. Damn. All right, I just screwed myself up. Now I gotta sit here and wait for it to go 180 degrees in the opposite direction. It's gonna take it like 3 minutes to flip around. Have you ever looked online at like some of the YouTube videos to find out how to control things and build stuff? Like Matt Lone and
Yeah,
Scott Manley and those guys? They
yeah,
got some old videos that help you out.
yeah. It's just like every time I go to like trying to put like change the color or something or put like a sticker on something, it always just makes the thing not even you can't even connect it anymore.
Yeah. You
It's
gotta
like a
keep it.
ghost on.
You talk about like your flags and stuff that you attach to it.
Yeah,
You gotta keep an eye on the flags that you get. I didn't realize this the first time they came out with the attachable flags, but some of them are not flat. Some of them are curved a little bit to fit around fuel tanks. And if you set them sideways where the curve is going against the actual curve of the fuel tanks, it doesn't work right. You got to look at what you're doing and make sure that you're setting it on the right surface. I think there's only two flags that are flat. There's like a small and a medium or a large or something like that. And then they got a bunch of slightly curved ones that fit on different size fuel tanks. So you got to make sure that they're angled the right direction. If you set them on sideways, obviously the curvature is going to cause a little bit of an issue with attaching
right.
pieces, and it's also going to give you drag when you fly it. Hey, kitty cat. Oh, stop whipping your head, animal. God, this thing. My cat drools. Every time he spins his head, he whips a whole bunch of drool on me. It's gross. You're like a dog. Have you ever made it off the launch pad into space, into orbit, and did a deorbit burn and pop your parachutes and land safely?
Yep.
All right. Have you ever made it to like the moon or the mud? And...
Talking about my girl. My girl. Ooh, baby. Oh, you're dead.
What is that? Your brother beating you?
Again, back.
Yeah, it's, I'm assuming that's your brother, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big brothers always like to beat up on the little ones.
I'm gonna get off soon.
All right, well, I appreciate you stopping by. Have a nice new year.
Let me just see one thing real quick.
David's a cheater.
Wait, hold up. I gotta go beat up my older sister.
Well, go beat up your older sister. Have fun. Alright, anyhow, I've been screwing around with this thing. It turned so slow. I got myself to apoapsis of 185 kilometers. I want to get it down to about 105.
Hey, you wanna play some Fortnite? Wanna play Fortnite?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
I don't have Fortnite. I'm in the middle of a live broadcast right now.
Oh. That's crazy, cuz.
Okay. This is going to be my first save of the game, just in case something goes wrong. Save it to my standard quick save file. How much fuel I got left? 999 milliseconds of Delta V. That's quite a bit.
Well, okay, I'm gonna join you back in a little bit. Gotta go pop fireworks.
Alright, have fun.
Thanks.
Yep. Sometime today it'll start rotating around where I want it. The good news is once I drop this engine, it'll be light enough to turn a lot faster. I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to be able to do that. What I'm doing is I'm going to do a retrograde back here. I just got into the sphere of influence of Eve. And while I'm doing that, two things are going to happen. It's going to slow me down some, which is good, and it's also going to drop this periapsis down. I'll probably drop it to about 115-ish. Maybe 110. And then I'll let it drift over to get close to it, and then I'll do another retrograde burn, which circularize my orbit and keep it around 105-ish, which is about where I want it. Maybe a little higher, but I can tweak that out later. Once that's done, I'll decouple my landing craft and land on Eve, plant a flag, look around a bit, climb back up into it, ascend, dock with my return vessel, and maybe not dock, but at least get an EVA, get within EVA range, and I'll fly over there on my jetpack. And then I'll return to Kerbin and call it a day. Alright, I think that's close enough. I'll start burning the edges a bit. 170, 160, 140, 30, 20s, 115, I'll go a little bit more. I'll get it down to about 112. I think that'll be fair. That should work right there. I'll do another save. I don't feel like waiting for that again if something goes wrong. Accelerate time. All right. Might have started burning a little bit too late, that's fine though. All right, she's out of fuel. Good news is I am in a little bit offset orbit, but that's fine. Now I can cut this big monster loose. Goodbye. Activate these engines. That stage did a lot of good. If I do my math right, I need to burn up about another 1,000 milliseconds on it. According to what I see over here, I have 1,719. So if I burn up 1,000, I'll still leave around 719, 700-ish. A little bit extra to go home with. That's always good. All right. Well, aside from the nostalgia of looking at my own spacecraft, let's go through an orbit. Okay. I'll do one more orbit to circularize this. That should work right there. Do I have power? Yeah, I got plenty of it. It's just turning very slow. All right. Let's see what we got here. We got 110. 107. That's close enough for me. All right, Jebediah, it's time to undock. Decouple. Matter of fact, I'm just going to undock it. If I can get this done right. Decoupling node. Let's light up these side engines. Get a little distance. Turn this a little bit, fire off this. That should be good enough. Get rid of this decoupler. All right. Let's make sure all my staging's right. And those go. Main engine crossfire. That should be the top. Then those. Those. And that, good. And ladders. Separations. Those burn. All landing legs separate. First stage separates. Those separate. Second stage. Third stage. Last stage. Alright. Everything is staged properly. Now, because I know my heat tolerances for this particular vehicle, I want to start my deceleration burn on the opposite side of the planet from where I want to land. Generally, I get into about 79,000 kilometers above the planet and let the atmosphere slow me down and take care of the rest. And gravity, of course. Alright, where do I want to land? I guess I can land right over here somewhere, so I'll set it up with it right there. It means I'll have to do a burn right about there. That should still have me landing in the daylight. Oh, look, it'll be midnight in 5 hours and 3 minutes. It'll be 2021. Alright, right there should work. Starting the burn. It's close to where I want it, but I'm gonna go past this a bit. Alright. I'm gonna adjust this file just in case that was bad, but I think that's gonna be a good landing site. Done. Save. If you've been watching the whole broadcast, these two little engines here is what I use to decelerate this guy, and there's his little twin on this side. And if I was to click on the fuel tanks, you see I didn't even use half doing that. So these got a lot of fuel to do, a hell of a lot more. But that's all I needed from them, so I'm going to cut them loose. Goodbye, guys. And they will fire off here. Let's make sure I got the staging right. A lot of parachutes. Where are we at? There we are. That's what I need to get cut loose, so there they go. here on out, there is really no powered descent. I'm just gonna open up my heat shield. A little bit of glitchiness going on here. And I should, this is where I started over there. This is my lowest point, 79,000 kilometers plus a little bit. That probably put my landing area right around here somewhere. Which means it'll be kind of dusk or dawn, depending on what side you're looking at it from. All right. Speed up time here. I got it automatically set up to stay in a retrograde orientation. So when I get down to about 92,000, I'll cut the speed down to normal time to let it have enough time to rotate and orient with the oncoming rushing atmosphere. All right, that should do. Just as a time-saving measure, I zoom out because I do have my atmospheric animations on. And when those are on and you're real close to the spaceship, you get to see all the little pretty plumes of fire and smoke and everything turning red and heating up. But it also drains power from your processor, so if I zoom out far enough, it tends to work a little bit better. About to hit atmosphere at 90,000 kilometers. I'm at 90,100. Okay, I am in the atmosphere. As I'm high enough up, I'm not going to see too many trails yet, but that lower heat shield should start turning red when I get to about 82,000. I use Matt Lowe's idea here. Parachutes are all attached to Science Juniors that I could just cut loose after they get to the ground. I have my own version of my decouplers for the heat shields. Instead of using 4, I just use 1 on top and 1 on the bottom instead of 4 on top and 4 on the bottom, because I figured out a way to get these girders to go around my capsule here and keep a nose cone on it. So that worked out pretty well. Plus I got these boosters here, which are not on Matt Lowe's version. But leaves me a hell of a lot more fuel to do maneuvering. All right, she's starting to turn red. Just slightly turning red. I wonder if he gives me a temperature gauge. Nope. Now, because I'm in the atmosphere, I can't really do time acceleration, so you're just gonna have to bear through it. It should take about 3 to 5 minutes to do its thing. I got the parachute set up to bring me in at about 3.5 meters per second, which is extremely slow, but it means I don't have to use any fuel to slow myself down when I touch down. All that being said, I'm going to ignite my main rocket, just keep it at 0 power so it doesn't thrust anywhere or use any fuel. But there is one engine, one main engine that's going to get me to ascend, and it's right there. All these other tanks are just tanks. There's no rockets on them. And these other 4 that do have rockets are just boosters. Cut them loose pretty shortly after takeoff, so they don't last long, but they do give a good punch of speed at the beginning. Get me out of that thick atmosphere, Eve. All right. Coming up in 1 hour and 34 minutes of broadcast time. I knew this was going to take a while. But the fun part's coming up. Did I pass the crater yet? Let's see. No, I think that's the crater up there. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Oh, there's a crater way back there. Can hardly see it. When I say crater, I mean round portion of liquid with a little dimple in the middle because of an ancient asteroid strike. Alright, I gotta go over this body of water here, and I should be landing, if you can see my cursor, somewhere up over there, somewhere. Right above Jeb's head. Right on the horizon. If I go too far, there's another body of water, and I do not want to land in a body of water. I want to be able to plant a flag and do all that fun stuff. I do believe I'm hitting that sphere now. Oh, she's not pluming yet. I'm going to start seeing vapor trails and plasma trails here shortly, so I'll stay in this boat. It'll move a little bit faster. I like this continent or biome right around here. It's not too mountainous. It's flat enough, but it's still about 1,000 feet above sea level. It gives you a little bit less distance to have to travel through the atmosphere as opposed to launching from sea level. But it's not so high up that it's all rocky terrain and uneven that you land almost sideways and kind of slide down a mountain. So it's generally a pretty good place to land. This is an unpowered descent, so I had to guesstimate it. I know that originally I had my periapsis about right where my cursor's at, and I know that usually it'll go about that much further past it. So I'm probably going to land over here somewhere, right around this general area. It'll still be on the light side of the planet. I won't be at nighttime, but it'll kind of be in between, kind of afternoonish, which is good because you get to see shadows. That helps for perspective and judging your altitude above things. But it's not too dark to see what's going on. I do have lights on my landing gear, though. By the way, my landing gear detach after I take off. I just hit a button and they fire off. There I go. If you can see where my craft is, it's just above the beach. Now it's past the beach. She's starting to dig into the atmosphere pretty good now. So like I said, my landing area should be around here somewhere. She's going fast, but she'll slow down real quick once she hits about 2,800 meters per second. She's at 30,880 right now. So might actually go a little bit further past it, maybe over here somewhere. Alright, let's see what's going on. Yeah, definitely got the plasma streams there. And you notice it's slow and laggy here as I back off and the plasma streams will disappear because it won't render them anymore. It'll speed back up. So, zooming out. There you go. can't see the plasma streams, but also the gain speeds up a little bit. Okay, under 30,000 meters per second. $29.50. G-forces are still in the green. It'll pick up to the red here once I get down to about 26, maybe 28. Actually, it'll be a little bit lower than that. It'll be about 23. She'll start picking up. All right, 28,000 meters per second. Actually, this is a perfectly planned descent path because it's not really overshooting anything. I don't want to land too far in the dark, though. I hope it slows down a little bit more. G-forces are starting to pick up. Alright, don't go too much further because it's starting to get dark over there. I want to keep it in sunlight a little bit. There we go. G-forces picking up 1700, 1600, 1500. 1400, 12. All right, just still enough daylight I can see what I'm doing. G-forces are folding in. When I get to about 250 meters per second, I'll go ahead and zoom back in. I don't think there's any atmospheric animations that'll be playing at that speed, so everything should run pretty cool. All right, zooming in. She held together pretty good. Let's see how we're looking on electricity. All right, everything's maxed out. Electricity is 250 of 250. I'm going to switch this to radar so I can get my true elevation. Wait till it hits about 30,000 even so I can see what the difference is. 28, about 1,000 feet. That's good. Or 1,000 meters. The next main thing that will happen is that top, this guy will pop off. Then I'll separate these, and that little center guy should pop off, but it glitches. It never does, but that's fine because then I have two more sepultrons here to just separate these girders completely from the spacecraft, and everything flies away. And I think I'll be left is the bottom heat shield, which I'll eject once my chutes open up at about 1,000 feet. If I do it beforehand, it has a tendency to fly back to the rocket and smash into my rockets and break stuff. But the one on top, there's no place for it to go but up, so I can cut that loose. I usually cut it loose at about 90 meters per second, and we're getting there. Landing site's a little rocky. This should be flat enough. Like I said, I set these parachutes up to bring me in at about 3.5, maybe even less meters per second. So even if it's a little bit on an incline, it should. I don't think any of my landing struts are going to blow up. She usually touches down nice and smooth. There's definitely plenty of sunlight to see what I'm doing. These 4 modules here are just the only purpose they have. They are Science Junior modules, and I could do science with them if I wanted, but I'm playing on sandbox mode anyhow, so it doesn't matter. The only real purpose these have is just to be some kind of structure that I pinned all these parachutes to, that I could cut loose. I used to pin them to the rocket, but someone told me, oh, there's no drag in the empty chute containers, but there is. I noticed that, so especially in Eve's atmosphere, it's enough to make you not be able to get into orbit. So I put them on those modules so I can cut them loose before I take off. Same thing with my ladders. They're all hooked up to ceplatrons, so these separators will shoot these ladders off of here before I take off. Okay, we're going to cut loose the top one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, separate. Give it a second to catch up. There it goes. Separate the container, which glitches and always stays attached for some reason. Then separate the girders. There we go. Now she has a tendency to want to drift out of control because once that thing leaves, you start speeding back up. Because in a way, that top heat shield was acting as a little bit of a makeshift parachute, helped slow me down. Once I cut it loose, I'm going to start speeding back up, which means I'm going to get atmospheric animation starting to play through. You know, that little vapor trail that looks like it comes up out of you because you're going through the air so fast. And that has a tendency to slow down the processing speed of the PlayStation, so I back off far enough that that animation doesn't play. Now, sometimes this thing starts spinning all over the place, which really doesn't matter. Once those chutes open, it usually keeps it going straight up and down again, but if it starts trying to spin too far off the center of my navigation ball, I'll pop the chutes even though they're too high to open yet. At least they'll cause a little bit of drag to keep it nose up. I don't think that's going to be an issue though. And she's slowing down. Once I hit 1,000 meters, the chutes should open anyhow. Once they open, I'll pop off that bottom chute, extend my landing legs, and just let it hit the ground on its own. I'm not going to use the engines at all. Theoretically, it should land just fine. I think I'm going fast enough that I can zoom in, or slow enough I can zoom in. And she is kind of slowing down. Zoom back out. 13, 12, 11. All right, chutes. Popping them. They're opening up. Dropping a lower heat shield. All right. Landing gear should come down. Just for messing around, I'll turn on these lights. They're not going to be necessary. And it's going to burn up some of my power, so I'll leave them off for now. 3.2 meters per second, that's pretty slow. So if I hit the ground going that slow, I don't think anything's going to blow up. Even if I am on an incline. I'm going to go ahead and select that engine as a point of reference so I can aim my camera here. Aim camera. That just makes it so the nav ball doesn't cover up my landing. At least not too much. $550 meters. Still got components falling from the sky, crashing. I can hear them exploding in the background. That was probably my lower heat shield just hit. Could speed up time a little bit, but I don't want to mess with the game. It's running a little slow right now. It's going fast enough. I'll be touching down in about maybe a minute, minute and a half. Thank you, one user watching me, by the way. I saw you come in here in about 20 minutes ago, half hour ago. Appreciate you watching. If you want to get on, I do have a chat party. If you want to chat, just look up my thing, friend me, and you can join the party after that if you feel like it. Or you can just stay anonymous, doesn't matter. Kyle Jordan, yeah, man. Yeah, just let me know if you want to talk on there. Just send a friend request. You'll be broadcast live, so I don't know if that's going to bother you. Some people it does. Yeah, they said that the new one was going to be coming out here like right around now or maybe a month or two from now. But then I heard at the game, the guy who was running the whole show over there, and what the hell is the name of the guys that do this, Squad or whatever, got fired. So they still say it's coming out, but it might be a little while. Might not be till next year or later on this year. Although I have heard it might come out around April. We'll see. I'm wondering if it's going to run on PlayStation 4, because that's what I'm playing on. Oh, look, there's a little crater down there. Cool. Or is that a Sepultron? I don't know. 3.1 meters per second. Let's see what our touchdown's going to look like. 62 meters to go. 55, 50. Oh, it's nice and flat. I should land no problem. 22. 14. 10. Ooh, I actually have 9 meters to go, but it landed before it. Yeah, that was a pretty good landing. It's relatively flat here, too. And my altitude, if I check it above sea level, is 1,553 meters. We'll subtract that 9. That puts us at 44, 1,530, 44 meters. That's still 1,500 meters more than I was expecting. All right, good. We're on the ground. Let's save it. And I do have the ladder set to a action group. So let's go ahead and I'm going to change my camera view center it on there. Actually, that's a little bit too high. Let's center it lower. That'll work. Let's get rid of that. Action group 1. All the ladders are opening. There they go. Just like the design. All right, Jebediah, time to get out. I'm going to do a save just so I don't have to worry about doing all this crap again. Save game, quick save, save. So far, I have not had to load the game. There's Jeb. Whoa. Oh, come on, Jeb. Let go. Grab. Look. Grab. Let go. Oh well. He fell, but he's still alive. Sometimes when you start sinking into the planet like that, if you keep going, you'll continue to sink and your guy will die. So jump and get you back up onto the flat surface. All right, everything looks good. All right, Jeb, time to pop your parachute. Or not your parachute, but plant flag. All right, we will edit it and call it. Oops, Site 1. I think I have another one on here. It might be Site 1, but we'll just pretend this is Site 1. Accept it. Get rid of that dialogue. Ooh, didn't want to do that. There we go, back on. It's really all I wanted to do. Not bothering with any science or anything. Like I said, I'm in sandbox mode. It's not going to give me any points. Plus, I'm already a master astrophysicist anyhow, so don't have to worry about getting trophies or anything. Board. All right. Now we just got to worry about the pre-trip stuff. Cut all the ladders loose. There they go. All right, we're going to cut these science juniors. Matter of fact, let me focus it on. No, I don't want that. All I'm trying to do here is aim the camera at the capsule. That's going to be the last thing standing anyhow on the end of this. If I don't do that, it has a tendency to want to follow the part that gets separated. All right, let's cut these guys loose. like 3 of them survived. Or they all survived, just a couple things blew up on all of them. That's fine. All right. I'm going to take a break here for a second. And I do have a chat thing open. Let me just... Game's still playing, but I'm going to exit out of the game to see if I got any friend requests. I don't know if you put one in there, Kyle. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I'm gonna take a quick break before I do this. The hardest part of the mission is getting this big monster off the ground and rendezvousing in space with my return module. So, I'm gonna make myself a drink and grab something to eat real quick. Probably take me about 3 or 4 minutes. I'll be back, and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm back. It won't let you to friend request? Well, hell, I'll just friend request you. You're Kyle Jordan, right? If you're something different, let me know. Kyle Jordan. I'm going to do that for you right now. Okay, do the settings. Oh, well, I sent it to the wrong Kyle Jordan. Okay, it's Yapo pin 116. Gotcha. Yopoppin. Yopoppin. Hold on. LPOPPIN116. Hold on. Okay, I found you, Jordan. I accidentally invited two other Kyle Jordans. Yeah, I might have my settings set to not accept stuff. That's why I just sent it to you. You should be getting a friend request any second, Kyle. Well, it looks like you accepted my friend request. All you gotta do now is get the gate or get the party. Why are my lights not coming on? Am I out of power? That would be affirmative. I have no electricity left. Well, that wasn't good. We're still good, though. That was only one landing leg. I got a party open, Kyle, so if you just go to my name and search parties, there should be a party open to talk on, assuming you have a microphone. I'll go over there and invite you to the party, too. Oh, okay. You don't have a mic. I've been trying to get you in there. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Well, got this rocket coming over here. I'll go ahead and do my ascent once he's over my head. I'll probably have to do this 2 or 3 times and get it right. Okay, over my head. Going. Out of fuel, cut him loose. Alright. Next group should be the boosters. They're out of fuel, cutting them loose. Second main fuel tank. Come on, come on. Start to pitch over a bit. Cutting them loose. Last group of fuel tanks here. Thing stops exploding and glitching my game out, I might actually be able to get somewhere. there. How are we looking at fuel? Oh, looking good. All right. I'm going to do a radial out. Give this up some. Radial in. Looking good so far. When I get to there, I'm going to pop it up a little higher. Altitude should be in the 80,000s. Yep. I don't have a hell of a lot of fuel, but I should have enough for rendezvous. I do a plane alignment, and that's going to be the one that's going to eat up most of my fuel, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. Let's fast forward up here. I get this up to about 192. All right. Select this guy as a target. Ascending node, which means I have to go anti-normal. Should be able to catch up with him in maybe 3 or 4 orbits. I'm going at normal time right now until I hit this plane alignment node. All right. All right, I'm pretty much on a perfect plane. Still got a decent amount of fuel left. Now it's just a matter of making enough orbits to get an encounter. Gotta go faster than that? Nope, won't let me. All right, so see how close these come together when I pass them. Okay, well, they're moving together just a little bit of a time at a time, which means it's going to take a little bit longer, but at the same time means my approach is going to be nice and slow and easy to control. I don't want to burn up a lot of fuel once I get close to them. I estimate about 10 orbits. That was 1. Here comes 2. You watching this, Kyle? There goes 3. Might be less than 10. Maybe it'll be about 8 or 9. Now, ultimately, I'd like to dock these two together, but because I got all that extra fuel in my return module, the RCS thrusters might not be powerful enough to make it easily controllable. And I don't have RCS on my Ascent module. I do have a docking port. There is a cheat to docking, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I might just have Jebediah hop out and fly over there on his EVA suit, which is legit. I'm fine with that. Yeah, we're looking at about another 4 orbits. I think I said 10, but I think it's going to end up being 9. We shall see. If I did this right, we'll be within 4 or 5 kilometers of each other, which is pretty damn close. 1 or 2 more orbits is going to put me in there. Matter of fact, after this one, I might try to see if I can do the approach on that. See how close they get to each other. No, I'll wait another orbit. It's just the angle I was looking at it at. Oh, you flying a mission there, Kyle? Okay, 1 more orbit. I'm going to estimate about 9 nautical miles or 9 kilometers after this. Anything under 20 is pretty good, so if you get under 10, it's really good. Okay, I think that's going to be about as close as I'm going to get. Oh, you haven't made it to Jewel yet, huh? That takes a lot of fuel to get there. Okay, cut time acceleration. I should be able to see it. There she is. 12 nautical miles away. Set this for target. Aim toward target. Go manual. And we're coming in at 14. Okay, we're 9 kilometers out. Looks like I got plenty of fuel to do this. Ooh, I'm gonna get rid of this nose cone. I don't need it anymore. Only needed it for my set. Looks like we're 8.1, 8 even, 7.9. My approach speed is 45.7. Let's go ahead and crack this guy up a bit. .4. Hard to see the little numbers. I'm close enough to EVA it, but I'm going to see if I can do a docking. 4.9. .5. I'm getting ready to do my slowdown here. I'm not going too fast, so shouldn't take too much. .1, 2 even, 1.9. Ooh, didn't want to go that fast. A little more than a half kilometer away. Do a correction. Good. Just a little bit. Okay, less than half a kilometer away. Speed it up a little bit. Okay. Almost there, man. Almost there. Save it, by the way. If I pull this off and make it back to Kerbin all right, I have not died once, so I haven't had to reload the game. I'm a truck driver. Also a musician, but I haven't done any shows in a long time because of my truck driving gig. Makes it hard to do that. Okay, I can see it. Alright, let's switch vessels. This is the guy with the RCS. Engage RCS. Where the hell is... Oh, there's the cockpit. I should have turned on the light so I could see what I'm doing. I don't know if I have enough fuel to do this. This thing is moving real slow. I'm definitely close enough to get Jebediah out of there in his jetpack, though. docked. How much fuel did I have left? That's legit, buddy. Shut off the RCS. Just curious to see how much fuel's in the tank. Not very much. Alright, I can cut these loose. I just have to find the right... Where was the one for that? And get rid of these fuel tanks. That's it right there. Goodbye, RCS. Fuel. Where's the... oh, whatever. I'll just do them one by one. Obviously right now, just getting rid of these RCS tanks. I don't need them anymore. I've docked. They serve their purpose. And they're not super heavy, but they're heavy enough to cause me some issues if I let them. Alright, crew hatch. We're going to transfer Jebediah back to the command module. And we're going to set this up to be the control point. Control from here. Undock. That's it, kiddies. I have officially landed on Eve, took off, docked with my mothership, transferred back to the mothership, and now all I gotta do is find a good window to launch back. There's two ways to do this. Because I'm in orbit, and if I accelerate time right now, it's only gonna let me go so fast, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and get out of the influence of Eve, and then figure out a return trajectory to Kerbin. It'll use a little bit more fuel unless you do it perfectly, but I got plenty of it, so I'm not going to stress about it. Alright, Kyle. Just making sure I got everything set up right. About 45 degrees from there. That'll be close enough. I'll go a little bit further. What the hell? Alright, that's good enough. Set it for prograde. Alright, gonna start to burn. Came in here at about 5,000 meters per second, so I think it has to get up to about 5,000 to get out of here. 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2. All right. right. Couldn't ask for much more perfect than that. Save the game, quick save. So you gonna go get your CDL there, Jordan? Kyle, whatever. All right, this video is up to 2 hours and 46 minutes long. And this stuff really eats up your day. All right. Okay, I'm in interstellar space. Cool. Or not interstellar, but interplanetary. If you watched earlier the video, I waited till Eve was, if you draw a line from Kerbin to Eve, it should be right at the edge. Hey, what's up, Figs? Right at the edge of the your orbit, or Eve's orbit. If you're too far behind the orbit, if you have to go through inside your orbit to get to the planet, you're doing it too early. You want to wait till it gets to the point where you're right at the edge. You can draw a straight line. That's the same for every planet, by the way. You don't really have to use the maneuver nodes. I wait till I get there, and then I'll plot a maneuver node real close to where I'm at and move it along the orbit until I get a good encounter. And because I'm not on Eve anymore, I'm just looking at my ship. When it draws a line straight to Kerbin, I will slow down time and place a maneuver node to find out when and where I should start my approach. Right about there. It might be a little early, but that's okay. I can place a maneuver node a little bit further out, right about where Eve is, a little before. Might want to set this as my target. I got one there. I want to go that far out, so let's see if I bring it back a little bit. Heavy machinery, okay. Oh, okay. That is where we're going to go. Use the least amount of fuel. It's not giving me a legitimate burn time. It says 0.1 seconds. That's just a glitch in the game. It's going to use up 854 milliseconds of delta V. It says I only got 437 left. I think that's a glitch too, but we'll find out. Five days. We'll start about a minute prior to it. So heavy machinery, huh? Gotcha. Used to deal with some of that stuff in the Marine Corps. All right, 3 hours, 2 hours, 58 minutes. A little concerned at what it says I have to burn and what I have left, but I think it's displaying the wrong information. I know the burn time is a hell of a lot more than 0.1 seconds. And I'm pretty sure I got more than 854 milliseconds of burn time. We shall find out. Be nice if I can make this a clean mission. Got all the way there, got all the way back, docked, and don't have to reload any save games because I screwed up somewhere. Oh, 3 hours and 35 minutes till 2021. Happy New Year to you too, Kyle. Enjoy the bar. About ready to start my insertion burn. If I get this right, I should be done with this whole mission in another 7 or 8 minutes. Minutes, 19, 18, 17, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, go cut in a normal time. Burning. Yeah, there's a glitch in there because it's not even showing me going down. All right, halfway through, still got more than half my fuel, so I definitely got enough fuel to get to where I'm going. Slowing down. Gonna be coming out at a massive angle. That'll work. All right, kitties. Looks like I got it, and I still got plenty of fuel left too. Gonna accelerate time to full speed and just let her get into Kerbin's sphere of influence. I'll do one more burn to get it to about 35 or below kilometers above Kerbin. When I say that, I mean my periapsis. So there's enough atmosphere to slow me down regardless of what speed I'm going. Feel pretty confident about this one. Okay. Retrograde bird. I might have enough fuel to actually get into an orbit and pick my landing site, but I'm not going to bother with all that. All right, that's low enough. Save it here, just in case because I am going to fast forward. Sometimes I overshoot when I do that, just in case. looks like with a little bit of luck, I'll be landing in the ocean just like I wanted to. So. Alright, let's cut the command module loose. Farewell, my friend. Alright. All I gotta do now is push a button when I get to about 1,000 feet to throw out the parachutes. Other than that, she should be done. Catching at 33,333 meters per second. It's going up a bit. Everything looks good so far. The main thing I'm looking for here is to get below 2,200 meters per second, which is obviously easily going to happen because that's roughly the orbital speed for Kerbin. Maybe a little more, but somewhere around there. And I'm already at 27, 26, 24. It just jumped because I went into surface mode, and we're coming up on 22, and we are below orbital velocity. So I am going to hit the planet eventually, preferably with chutes out. It looks like I can hit it in the ocean just like I wanted. This is going to be a perfect mission. (1,600 meters per second), 15, 14, some change, 13 and some change, 12 and some change, 11, 10, and we are in the 900 meters per second range. Nothing in front of me. I'm definitely going to slow down before I hit any landmass, so I'm going to hit the water, which is exactly what I wanted. Turn on our lights. Hey, that looks like a little monster, dinosaur head or something. Turn off the lights. Alright, getting ready to pop chutes, and that's really the last thing I can do. I'll do that at about 1,100 meters, somewhere around there. Alright, unless the game glitches, I made it. I'm not going to do any time acceleration because that might make the game glitch. Wait the extra 20 or 30 seconds for it to land. And it looks like it's going to be a successful mission to even back without having to reload any games or any save files. No mistakes made. 3 hours flight time. That in a couple of minutes, but that was just getting ready at the beginning of the game. About to touch down. That's it. Recover vessel. And hopefully it's not glitching now, because I am done. Okay, good to go. I'm going to save the game under new. That's what I started as, so I'm just going to save it under the same name. Alright, that's it, kiddies. Appreciate y'all watching. I made it all the way to Eve and back, landed and came back without having to restart or reload any save files. It can be done. All right. Farewell.